far too comfortable in my own skin, right? And just being alone, that I don't know how to act around other people. Like if I was to be asked out on a date, I'm going to tell you right now, my first few dates until I got comfortable with this again would be it would be a disaster. It would be an absolute disaster. I don't know what to say. I don't even know how to talk to adults, right? Like I can get on here and BS we all, right? But I make it very clear that we're friends, right? None of y'all are trying to, ooh, negative self-talk. That's a good one too. Yeah, don't tell me how to adult. Look, I don't want to adult. I've been looking to be adopted at this point. Okay, I cook, I clean, I will do all the household stuff. Just I don't know if anyone's interested in adoption. I don't know that I'm good relationship material, but I can cook a mean beef stew, and I'm all right at cleaning as long as it's your house, not mine. Don't expect my room to be clean if I got to clean the rest of the house. That's all. Yes, exactly. But you pay all the bills. I just stay home and do all the hard work. See? It's like, when you were a kid and your parents just wanted you to do the chores and that was it. You just do the chores. You got free food, free roof over your head. You're getting an education. You can do what you want. And as long as you keep striving to be better, you can stay here. And all I wanted was to get gone and do it on my own. And now I so seriously regret that decision. And then Travis, look, man, honestly, I don't think I could ever actually not work. So you work, pay the bills. I'll work for vacation money. I'll have no problem convincing myself to go to work even for the worst shifts if I know that it's like Disney money or beach money. So you adopt me and you pay all the bills, and I will work for all of our vacations and the fun money. Come on, I think that's a good idea. And you still go date other people and do what you want. If you're rich, we can both have separate wings in your mansion. I don't want a ring. That's the thing. I would be adopted, not engaged. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want marriage. Look, Mia, you and me, we could rock this thing, right? Like, I don't know, man. This whole just commitment stuff is scary. But if I'm just like, you adopt me, we're going to rock this world out together. Like, we got this. I got you. You got me. We can do this. And taught me, good morning. All right, let's get 11, 8, 10 in the box, guys. My last rule, okay, which is my rule and it's the app's rule, but I take it one step further and I'm going to just tell you this. Then we got to get him in the box. We're like 2 minutes past. If you are rude or mean or negative, realistically, anytime in my stream, unless I feel like having a little fun meal, like I'm, feeling feisty, right? You're going to be immediately removed from my stream. But during the show, you will instantly be removed. And I don't unblock you. I think in my 4 years, almost 4 years of streaming, I have unblocked 4 people. I have the longest blocked list because I'm sorry, but it is a lot and you have to make yourself a little bit vulnerable to get on this show. So if you can't, just be respectful. I don't have time for you, period. You're not going to be my cup of tea any dang ways, right? So you're just gone and that's it. So just remember, be kind, and Lemonade Stand, please let me know when you're ready and I will instantly accept you into the box. Peter, you just hit the X and you just go away. It's not that hard. I'm not going to block you. That's not what I want to do. I want you to behave so that you can stay. That's what I want. Hi. How are you?
Hey, how y'all doing today?
I'm doing very well. I'm waking up. This coffee is really kicking in. So if I'm a little extra, just remember this is a really big glass and it's number 2 today. So
I'm a little sorry, y'all. I'm at a hotel in a bullcrap chair right now. So yeah.
Look, I'm sitting on the floor.
Oh,
That's cool. We got this.
So I'm just like, yeah, let's go get this.
Get this show started. All right, so lemonade stand, because I've got us a few minutes behind schedule, let's just jump right in, and I'll ask you, so don't leave right away either, because I will ask you a few questions about yourself and your streaming after our talk. But let these folks, what lesson are you here to share today?
Like I was saying in the emoji J a little while ago, is my big thing was working for someone else, and we get set in that corporate world where you gotta follow their rules, but not really want to do their rules really, and you wanna adult, but you gotta listen to somebody else, so you can't adult because you're stuck in their world. So my big thing is I had to take a step back. I did 8+ years in security background for a casino where rules were you gotta follow this procedure, and if you don't do it like this, they're watching you, so you gotta be watched. So it came to a point where I had to say, okay, I'm done with that. I'm gonna do whatever I want. And whatever I want became working for a stage setter for concerts and events. So I'm a unionized member, so we don't have to. I'm not obligated to where I work when I work. I work what show I want to work. When they give me a list, I get to do whatever I want.
Nice.
But I'm not stuck on a specific time frame, and I can live my life how I want to live my life. And people sometimes get stuck in the sense of we're scared to move on from what's in the past because we don't know what's going to be future wise. But if you don't make that step for yourself, then you're just going to make that step for somebody else and be living their life.
Yeah, I keep getting told if it's not scary, is it even worth it?
Exactly.
And I like that phrase, but I hate that phrase because yes, I do want better things and I do feel like I can be better, but then I have become complacent, right? Like I'm able to cover the bills. I don't have a lot of money. I'm not doing wonderful, but I'm okay, right? Like I have got the dog, I can pay for the extras. I'm not behind, like, but I also am miserable.
But that's the thing.
Miserable.
That's where it happened. That's what happened with me, my job wise. We're at the casino. I'm going to work. I'm good. 40 hours a week paychecks are good. Everything's good. But it became miserable. It became to the point where I couldn't be myself anymore. I couldn't dye my hair. Corporate world. You gotta follow that. Yeah. I got to the point where I couldn't do it. Now I'm be able to do what I want because it's about if you can't take yourself from a scared situation and make it better for yourself, you're just gonna be stuck in a situation that you don't want to be in for somebody else.
And a lot of times, so sometimes it's just situations where you do want more freedom and whatnot. But like for me, I don't think that I would be so focused on finding something of my own if I had a job where I felt thoroughly respected.
That's what everybody
appreciated, right? But so many times people hire people to run their businesses and it's just not the same as the small, like a mom and pop shop, right? Like when I've worked in mom and pop restaurants or bars, right, it's a lot of one-on-one and they're there, right? And they care. So they make sure things are going right. But then I work at my job now where we're running through management. Nobody seems to get everybody on the same page. And if you're not a selfish POS, you're not going to make nearly as much money because the other people be doing things that affect you, right? Like without getting too detailed or whatever. So there is lots of reasons and lots of ways. So just and I only say that because for some people, it might not be in that position to get that job going right away. So if you do want to work for yourself, sometimes you have to take that step to get away from what you're doing, find something different, and then work your way towards something more.
Yeah. And what I tell people is, even if you can't do it right away, make the steps and look for the next job. Look for that next opportunity that fits your character, what your standards are, and how you feel you should be treated. If they don't follow your schedule, if they don't follow everything on your list of check marks, that check mark exit out, keep on applying for the next one until you find that check mark that fits you.
I do, yeah. It is important that we get all of our check marks, filled, but sometimes a little compromise isn't awful either. But I think, like I said, I think that when we we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we often work with people who don't value us. And I think that that's a big reason for a lot of people to want to be out on their own and to start new things. But if that's, like I said, if that's not an option and you're miserable at your job, find something else, because being complacent and miserable is one of the worst feelings I think I've ever had. And I've been stuck here for a couple months now.
But I understand where you're coming from, because like at the casino I work at, there's people that come. There's a saying at the casino I work at. They want people to feel like the casino is the only lifestyle for them. So your job, this is the only thing you have. They tell people this is the only thing that's going to keep you sustainable. You're going to come back here regardless. You're going to leave. You're going to come back. That's what management tells people. You're gonna quit and then you're gonna come back. And there's people that's been at this job, at this casino for years, that doesn't understand that there's better options for them. They just get that little told. They get told that there's nothing else out there, and that kind of messes people's heads up sometimes, because they're told this is the only thing that there is. There's nothing else for you.
Yeah, I think we all have to remember we all have choices. There's options. How hard are you willing to work to get there is generally the question. I find that many times in my past, I want this or I want that and I'm going to do it, but then I only put in half the energy I should, right? Because I'm afraid to fail. So my brain, if I don't put all of it in there, I know what the outcome's going to be, and it's probably not success. So I'm struggling with the fear of failure. Right. But I also know if I don't try, I'm never going to be happier.
Exactly.
Right? So do I want to just be here where I'm or do I want to risk it for a better biscuit?
You say risk it for the biscuit, right?
Risk it for a better biscuit.
So that's all that comes down to for you. That comes down to, Lily, is staying there, looking for something else, keeping that just there to keep you afloat until you find that next step. Where you're okay.
I want my job to get somebody above me that appreciates what they're doing.
Hey, Lily, has that?
And it's not going to happen. I've been here for a year and a half, and it's been the same, right? We're just kind of talking about not being complacent, taking risks, and starting your own job if that's an option for you, so that you can live a life and I think kind of feel appreciated more. So that's what I'm getting out of a lot of this is whether we work for ourselves or for someone else, we want to be appreciated and valued for what we bring to the table and not just dismissed, so I think that's a pretty good explanation of what we're talking about.
Lily, question then for you. I know this is your show, but have you thought about the process of taking that next step for you? You know what's needed. You might feel like you might not be there, but you know what's needed for your position for everybody around you.
So for me right now, I help take care of my 94-year-old grandma. So what I want to do, I can't, because I'm needed for her. Right. Yeah. And so I do I never thought I'd go back to serving or in the restaurant business. When I left there many years ago, I thought I was done. I really thought that I was done with restaurants, but grandma fell. She needs my help. And so I have to work nights and weekends now so that I can be there. So my mom and I can take care of her. But I do also feel like I could probably get a different job. I'm just serving somewhere else. But I'm noticing, because I've been going out to eat more and I've been going to different restaurants before I apply, especially if I see they're hiring, because I want to see how the servers act. I want to see how they approach the table. I want to see what they're doing. And honestly, they're not appreciated anywhere.
They are, and that's the thing. It's the standard now is either just give me my foodie and leave me alone is what happens. So they're stuck at that. You guys servers and because I'm an industry person myself, so I understand.
I mean, I do well where I'm at most days. Don't get me wrong. I got days where it's stiff after stiff after stiff, which is no tip, which when you don't tip, you cost me money. So when you sit at my table and you don't tip, I have to pay for you to be there, which is ridiculous. Right. But I don't know. I'm at a good morning. I'm at a point where I think it's super important that people understand that when you work a job, you should feel appreciated. Mm-hmm. You should feel like, you know, you brought something to the table. You should be grateful that you should enjoy feeling grateful for the opportunities they give you, right? And don't get me wrong, we don't always get what we want in life. That's not how it works. Life is about compromise, okay? But you've got to understand that, like, if you want to like, if you're the management, if you want your employees to give you their all, then you have to do the same. You can't just bark orders, give commands, and raise your voice or get in people's faces and think that that's going to help them improve.
Right.
You know, if I'm doing something wrong, don't yell at me in the middle of somewhere. Pull me aside and be like, listen, I noticed this. This is what I expect of you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. And I'll be like, okay, and I'm not gonna like it, and I'm gonna be frustrated that I got caught, but it's my own damn fault, right?
You're onto something though. That's the thing now. Nowadays, communication isn't really where people don't want to communicate. The phones took away a lot of that communication skills people have, so it's hard for people to communicate nowadays. And you're right.
100% agreed. Our people to people skills have been blech. They've gone to hell.
Yeah.
There's no other, you know, I can't quite wrap my head around when I walk up to certain tables and it's, can I please get this? May we get this? Thank you. And then other tables are, get me a Coke. I want this.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that? You know, and it's like, excuse me?
Right.
But and I already know when they're talking to me like that they're going to cost me money to sit at my table, because if you are that disrespectful, you're not going to respect the tip part either. Right. But I'm still nice to you. I still give you my A1 service because that's where I was going. I'm not going to let you change who I am anymore. So many times in the restaurant business, I've allowed myself to get far more than I ever would in normal life, right? So if you guys are at a job where it's changing who you are,
yeah,
just get out. So after 11 o'clock, I can box whoever, but right now, this being a featured show, guys, I cannot have the extra boxes. I've got rules I have to follow. But if you guys are just tuning in, this is Lemonade Stand, and I'm Silly Lily, and you are watching Lessons Learned, and we're talking about, he came in and talked about how you want to get a job for yourself so you can work for yourself and be happy. And I've kind of turned it into making sure that you feel appreciated and valued at your job, and that you don't, yeah. And exactly, Possum King. But that's a choice that we make as a server. I just wish people understood and had some respect that if you're going to go and sit down at a table, you know, a lot of restaurants, let's say they have 4 tables, right? So if one table sits there and they're rude and they don't do anything, that's literally 25% of my income. So I wish people understood that if you're not tipping 15 to 20% when you sit down, it's like, that's a huge chunk of my income. But then they've got the people too who come in, and that's awesome, kids. I've worked on a food truck. I love doing it, actually. But you, I forget what I was saying. That food truck sidetracked me. I was like, and then all the food truck stories started going in my head, and I forgot where I was going.
You're talking about them stealing wages from workers at the...
Yeah, it's, you know, or the other thing that drives me nuts, if you're listening, I'm going to just get this one off my chest. If you're sitting at a table and there's a wait at the door, and you're done and you've been done, and you just sit there for 3 hours, you're taking 25% of my income. So I want to know where you work so that I can take for 3 hours, 25% of your income, please.
Thanks.
Please.
Talk your stuff, Lily.
If there's a wait at the door, get up and get out. You want to chit chat? You want to we call them campers. You want to chit chat? Then go to the library. I don't know. Go for a walk in the park. Get out my seat. Your car. No, look, guys, I get it. You haven't seen a friend for a while. You want to sit and talk, but like, also be respectful to like your servers and the wait staff, and understand that table is how they literally how they make money. And if you're sitting there for hours and you left like $5 for your $20-some meal, You're a jerk. You're a jerk. You're a jerk.
And she's not talking about the song either, y'all.
So, all right. Was there anything else that you wanted to add to this topic before I ask you a couple easy questions?
I think we did a good. That was a good way to get the conversation flowing for us. So.
All right. Well, guys, if you're just tuning in, you miss Lemonade Stand and I, Silly Lily, talk about working towards your job goals, whether it's getting your own business or having a job where you feel appreciated and respected. If you have not done so already, please hit him with a favorite. Check him out. So Lemonade Stand, when do you stream? Like what hours and what times of the day? And then what are your streams usually like? What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I just got back into it. I was kicked out of this account for 4.5 years. Don't know how I got back in, but I'm back. So I'm just building my stream back up. We can talk about anything from life to me playing music on my stream and DJing random music that I have. So I did and I stream and it's random hours, so you can catch me. Sometimes you can catch me early mornings, 1 to 3. You can catch me 12 to 6 in the afternoon. It depends on how the day is going.
All right. And do you have any other shows that you're on or auctions or anything?
I do not. This is my second show.
Well, I appreciate you hopping on the show. You did wonderful. And if there's nothing else, you are welcome to exit out of the box, and then we will do the Q&Q.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. That was a great topic. He really made me get in my head, right? Like and so for those of you that aren't new here, you know that I've really been struggling with feeling appreciated and whatnot. So maybe it is time I start making some changes, right? So we're going to give it just a couple of minutes before we get Cat Daddy in the box, you guys. This is the self-care, self-love segment of the show where I just give you a couple of tips and maybe ask you a couple questions about what's going on in your life. So I'm going to give you my first tip, and as already stated in the comments, drink water. Drink water. Drink lots of water. Oh, my plants. They're everywhere. There's a whole other shelf there. There's a whole bunch in my bedroom. Thank you. I may or may not have a slight plant addiction. But you know what? It was when COVID hit, it was plants or pets. I picked the plants. I picked the plants, okay? I needed something to occupy myself, and this is what grew. All right, so make sure you're drinking water. Guys, now that the weather's starting to break, I know that you Southerners have been enjoying sunshine for some time now, and in fact, you hardly ever get bad weather. But now that, for those of us who are more up north are getting into where not every day is freezing, zip it, sir. Get outside again. And I'm not going to tell y'all to go out barefoot and ground and all that stuff because it is far too cold for that. But get outside, guys. Start enjoying the being outdoors part again. It's still pretty cold here. We had a couple of nice days, and I'm going to be honest, I did not take advantage of them, and I'm kicking myself in the butt. However, next week we're going to see up into the 60s again, and that's perfect hiking weather if you ask me. Whatever, Scott. I'm not talking to you. We got down to 55. Screw you. I woke up with snow yesterday. It's gone, I think, today, though. Other than the piles that are been sitting there. Yeah, I would say that Nebraska for sure has crazier weather than Ohio at this point. This Ohio weather it sucks, but I had no idea how much worse it could get. I'll be honest. Right? It hits 50s over here, and I'm like, woo! T-shirts and like thin joggers, like run, let's go. Get outside. But now when we're going from summer to winter and it hits 50, I'm like, what is this? Like you're freezing, you're shaking. So it's really weird how 50 in the fall is so cold, but then after dealing with winter for however many months, when 50s hits in the spring, it's considered warm. So thank you. So yeah, so that's where we're at with weather. But get outside. I have decided that I'm going to try a more organic type of eating style. My bank account is already miserable, but I think that it's really going to help me feel better. So I'm trying new. It's not all organic, right? Like I can't afford everything right now, but I'm going to guess once I figure out what I can and can't eat and I stop snacking that it's going to be okay. Like I really feel like I can do this and I can do it the right way. But I definitely have noticed I feel like poop. I don't. You're crazy. I am always so cold. I love looking for sea glass. My mom got me into that a little bit. So yeah, be outside, enjoy outdoors, try eating some new, healthier things. And my question for y'all is, when was the last time you gave back? I love being outside. That's why I have all the plants. If I can't be outside, I'm at least going to be in here with all my plants. Thanks. I'll be honest, it's cheaper than Botox and it takes a lot of years off. That's the only reason I have them. They're a pain in my butt. And be honest, I'll admit that on my featured show. You know, guys, if you ever have a chance to get to northern Michigan or probably even Wisconsin, in like October, the middle to the end of October, when the leaves are changing, y'all, I have never seen anything more beautiful. I'm sure there's more beautiful places, but as far as America goes, the colors, the bright, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, like, oh. And driving, when you're driving and it's just that you know, you see all the colors are driving, it is crazy. I have a lot of family from Massachusetts, actually. All right, guys, so nobody gave back lately. What's another question I can ask? What was the last thing you did for yourself? Red or the yellow? The yellow is what really stands out, though. So what was the last thing, before we get our Cat Daddy in the box, guys, what was the last thing you did for yourself? And what was it? Like, when was it, I mean? A second nose ring? You know, I had my nose pierced a long time ago, and I just hit an age where, like, I got tired of taking care of everything. My ears were done all the way up. I can still feel all the scars or whatever. Breakfast for nice. New wheels for your equipment card. Is that what you carry around work or whatever? Just connection. Last thing I did for myself. Haven't really done too much for myself. Thank you for the faves, guys. Again, thank you for the faves. Thank you for the gifts throughout this last 39 minutes. I appreciate all of you, but more importantly, thank you for your time and thank you for the compliments. Last thing I mean, doing this is for myself. Streaming is for myself. Like, I'm gonna need, yeah. I think what I need in my life is like, thank you, is like, I need a good bubble bath, right? A good Epsom salt bubble bath with some music and a glass of wine or 3. Thank you for the fave. You know what I mean? Like, no, I did do a shot last night. All that does, guys, listen, I will do one shot. in one shot does one of two things, okay? It either gives me that little bit of energy and I'm rearing and ready to go for another hour. But I can't really do a second shot because I'm not a big drinker, okay? I usually do Fireball. Yes, Epsom salt is my favorite for my back and my knees when they really get to hurting. Yes, I do. I do love cinnamon. It's just one of the easiest things for me to get down. But it does one of two things. Like I said, it either gives me a little bit of energy and I get goofy and giggly and things are great. All right, have a good one, hon. Or it knocks me out and I'm ready for bed. Hi, Stabby. So I really am just not a big drinker. Guys, thank you for the favorites again. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for being here. I am now going to let Cat Daddy in the box. Are you ready, sir? I don't want to hit the button in case you never know if you're like picking your nose or there's kids in the background. I don't know. All right, here we go.
Good morning.
Hello. Uh-oh. Are you there?
Yep.
Oh, okay. He's fixing it. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So how are you today?
Not too bad. Went to bed early last night just to be able to make it for you guys.
Aw, well, thank you. It is early for some people, especially if you're on the West Coast.
Need a coffee.
Yep. Cheers. Everybody grab a sip. All right, so let these fine folks know what our topic of discussion is for today.
Discussion for the topic for us is basically about like dating and when it comes to opening yourself up to people that are randomly hitting you up, especially from coming from like this app, and people hitting us up on our Instagram and things like that. I had a situation where I had someone that I thought was a friend, and I guess I didn't wait long enough to understand that that person wasn't, because I had no idea. Uh, I put myself vulnerable a few times on this app where those vulnerabilities ended up becoming what you will call ended up being like bad on me. You know what I mean? Like I made a couple wrong mistakes all because of loneliness. You know, being on the fact that I'm a streamer, because if not, I would normally just be in my room by myself playing a video game or, vibing with somebody on the phone.
Yeah.
So, the moment that somebody starts giving you attention, it can spark you up to probably make a wrong decision or to act on up, especially when, like I said, you don't know. It's a difference if like, you're in a live, you're chilling, you can see the person, you know what's going on. You know what I mean? And then there's other situations where, you're talking to somebody, you don't know if asking for them to see their face right off the rip is appropriate, or sometimes people don't want to just show their face. You know what I mean? So like I had a situation where I had this man um ask me, "Oh, are you gay? Are you this and that?" I was like, "No, I'm a non-binary. I accept everybody for what they are, but my orientation is straight. I like women, you know." And this person ended up uh, playing on my emotions and stuff. Called me at a moment where I was like down. I thought I could find, and then they hit me up on Instagram. We was talking, and the next thing you know, the person was like, "Oh, I think you and my cousin would hit it off." You know what I mean? And I didn't really know this person to really call him my friend, and I thought that they were hooking me up with their cousin. You know what I mean? They're like, "Yo, she's been through a lot, and I think you and her hit it off to be cool." Well, come a month later, a weekend, I sent my news, pictures of my daughter, pictures of me and my family, my kid, and everything. Come the end of the month, I'm like, hey, let's do a video call. Let's take things to the next spot. Let's get there.
Right.
And I had warnings in my head. I was like, I better see a face. There better be a woman there. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff. And then when I got out of it was, hello. Like what? What? No, not that. No, you know what I mean. And it ended up being the person
Yeah,
I thought was my
I
friend.
think that like, so this is a featured show and I don't ever take orders, so you should learn to be respectful, Ray, there, even though Boop already got rid of you. I one of the things that I have and that you're okay, that I do, he needed to go, is I'm not even going to give you any of my time if we've not had like through this app or through Instagram, right? Most of the Instagram people are from here. But if you don't have the time to talk to me while I'm live, I'm not giving you any of my personal time. And that was a rule that I had to put into play for not the exact same reason, but for people not being who they said they were, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so many times through the internet, it is so easy to tell people what they want to hear, and it's so easy for us to believe it. But if you can't prove it, we're all lonely and we all want attention, and that's fine. But there is a difference in getting attention and a little ego boost versus really getting to know somebody to date, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably have stricter rules than most, but I've hardly dated. It's been like 15 years since I've dated seriously.
Yeah.
When I got pregnant with my daughter and I was given an ultimatum of him or her, I picked her, and that was it for me. Like I've tried to date for the simple fact of like I'm told that we're supposed to have partners, and because I feel lonely. But I had to, in my situation, I really had to discover who I was, and I had to become comfortable being alone. And once I became comfortable being alone, the thought of letting someone else into my life without knowing 100% who they are and what they're bringing to the table makes me nauseous. So I just don't date because nobody wants to take that time. They don't want to just be your friend. They want to hop into bed, which is why I don't date, because that's not what I'm looking for.
For sure. That's definitely the same. No, I'm on that same motion. I've basically been single practically the same. I've had a couple situations in the last 15 years. I had my daughter 15 years ago, and then me and my baby mother didn't work out. You know what I mean? And ever since then, that relationship messed me up for all the rest of them until now. I've had one legit one where it was a polyamorous relationship where my girlfriend had a husband, her husband had another another girlfriend. She had another boyfriend. It was a whole thing, you know what I mean? Besides that, though, if I didn't have the crew behind me, I'm just like this by myself, single poly, and just talking to people, you know?
Yeah.
But
I work and take care of my grandma and my kids, and I do this. This is my social life, I guess.
mine is this dog right here. This is Cane Corso that just stays next to me at all points in time. So dealing with him, with making sure he's got his food and appointments and everything. Also, like I said, I have a 14-year-old daughter that's about 2 hours away. So dealing with that from the long distance and videos and just trying to just have everything in order. I've had my apartment now for about a year since October. Before that I was homeless, and before that I was in prison. You know what I mean? So it's like I just had to take the time to focus. And why was I in prison and all that shit? Because I was worrying about other people and their problems and stupid things that put me in positions where I thought I was throwing loyalty for people and wasn't worrying about myself. Well, now that I stopped selling drugs and jumping the streets and going from couch to couch, now I got my own. Now I got no roommates. Now I got nobody telling me to get the hell out of my couch. And yo, you gotta go. It's 9 o'clock. You gotta get up. Yo, what you need? I just went to bed an hour ago, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like none of that. If I want to be butt ass naked in my crib, I'll just be butt ass naked in my crib, and
Watch
no one can
the
tell me
cussing. It's a
nothing.
featured show.
I
Watch the
didn't
cussing.
that's right. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's having your own, working on your own. I noticed that a lot of people are in like the most stupidest positions in life, and for some reason, with their loneliness, they think that hopping in a relationship is the smartest thing to do, and it's really not. You need to definitely love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you're for one definitely not gonna love anybody. You know what I mean?
That's generally the first thing I tell people is don't even try to get into a relationship until you love yourself. Well, what does that mean?
Exactly. You
You
gotta
just
separate
the
yourself,
conversation, and I've had it
you
a few
know?
times. Like the conversation I just had with these people are, it is completely putting themselves down, but then talking about if only I could find somebody, they'll make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
No, a person is meant to add to your happiness. They're not
Correct.
meant to make you happy. You have to make yourself happy. And within that is when somebody can come and add to it. But if you don't already have it, they can't add to it. It is
Yeah,
only a temporary fix.
yeah, that's why I end up having issues with people because I tell them I'm not here, I'm here to work with you. I'm not here to work for you. I'm not here to be your therapist. I mean, I need a therapeutic, relation, not I'm your doctor here for just you, because then it's like I'm pushing too much things for you. And at the end of the day, I'm going, what about me? Like what about when I'm feeling a certain way or
It's
when I wanted to talk to somebody? And if you
right.
don't end up having that relationship with that person, you're gonna end up having that with somebody else in a comment somewhere in your DMs. Someone's gonna end up doing it. If it's a friend, a family member, your mother, yo, ma, I can't understand why this is happening. I mean,
Yeah.
like, just
Yeah.
not.
And I think that people forget it takes a good year at least to get to know most of somebody. And that's not even all of somebody, right? Like
Yeah,
people rush into it and they jump into these relationships, and the beginning is what I call a honeymoon phase, right? Everything is happy and hunky dory and it seems like perfect, right? But
hmm
then they let their guard down, right? Then things start to change. And I always tell people, do not start doing something for somebody if you don't intend to do it forever.
right.
Because and things like let's say, I don't know, at least for most women I've talked to, and for most guys that I've talked to, if somebody starts doing something, whether it's getting a coffee and their K cup ready for, you let's say, cat daddy, you get up before me. So every day for a year, right? You would just put the K cup in there and set the coffee mug underneath it. And that made me know every time I got up that you thought about me that morning, right? So then you stop doing
You
it
stop doing it.
just because now I'm in my brain going, what did I do wrong? Right. And,
Right.
and I know that that's a very vague thing, but sometimes it's,
No, that's really
taking
a
a moment.
thing. That's really a thing. Like even with me, I've done that with my partners where I'm like, oh, you must be taking me for granted or something, and I'll stop doing certain things just so that they can pick up the pieces. You know what I mean? Like, oh, why is this? Like you just
Yep.
said, oh, why did this person stop doing that? You know what I mean? What did I do? Because it
It's,
needed for someone to do something in the beginning. They were interested. They wanted to put that smile on you. And then if it then just stops,
yes, Logan.
why? You know what I mean? And if you don't say
You've
nothing
got to
about it,
remain
you'll end up
consistent and
stacking up.
honest. Yeah.
You'll
Consistent
end
and
up
honest.
stacking.
It's how you really make things work, like, I don't know. Dating is hard, guys, and everybody has different expectations and different needs and wants and all that other stuff. But I'll eventually find my crazy partner, and they'll have my
Oh,
level of
that's a
crazy,
fact.
and we'll
That's a
tolerate
fact.
each other's good and the bad.
But
But
every one
nobody's
person is
perfect.
someone else,
Nobody's
man.
gonna check every box that you have. It's not possible. You have to. Relationships take a lot of hard work, a lot. And
It
most
does.
people aren't, they don't want to put the work in. They just want that beginning honeymoon phase. And once
Yeah,
there's a little bit of a problem, they jump.
yeah. Once the honeymoon, but that's the funny part too about relationships. That honeymoon phase. Oh my God, I love you. I love you. I love
Yeah, and
this.
that I
I
love
love
you after
talking
like
to
2 weeks or a month
you.
or something. Like,
Uh,
no, you just lied to my face. Like, you might think so, but you can't. You barely know me. Like,
right.
we've been out on 5 dates and you're telling me you love me. No, you don't. I'm sorry. And then that's my response because I've had it happen a couple times. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, I think I'm falling in love with you. Like, what? No,
What? No, you're just
no.
lonely.
And I'm done
That's
because
it. Yeah, no, you're just
I'm
lonely. It's okay. You're just lonely. We're
yeah.
all lonely. Keep talking to me for about a week and see if you'll still like me. Yeah, man.
Or
Keep talking to
I
me.
love
I'll
that
tell
you're
you some
so
real stuff.
feisty. I love that
Yeah,
you're so feisty. It's
yeah,
such a turn on. And then
yeah,
after like 6 months, why do you always have such an attitude and you're just blah, blah. Tone it
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Look, you knew that this is how I was from the
Right.
beginning and you pretended to like it. It's not my fault you lied. Bye.
That's what I tell them. Like, wait, the honeymoon phase
Like,
is over. Think about it again. You know what I mean? I've
I
had a
make
lot
it
of women
very
that did
known that
that.
I'm a loud, speak my mind, not taking any BS kind of person. So if you're looking for a person to tell what to do and to control, I'm going to tell you right now,
Yeah.
I'm not the one. I'm not a submissive, quiet, sit in the corner and do as told kind of person. I'm a loud, in your face, I'm going to do what I want, when
Until
I
you
want
find
kind of
that
gal. And
right
either you can
one.
hop on
Until you
board and
find
I'll
that
give you
one.
the same respect. Otherwise, we're going to fight all the time.
Yeah, the one you find is the one that's gonna make you stop. Actually, no, you calm down. You know what? And you're not gonna know what to do. Cat daddy tell you what to do. You know
Yeah, you've got to be able to tolerate someone on their bad days. The good days are all easy, you know?
what I mean? It's the bad.
Dating is really hard, you guys, and I am terrified of it. And I'm glad to know I'm not the only one, right?
Yeah, you never know when you're putting yourself out there, especially because of the things that have happened in the past for when you have.
But we
I
also have
say,
to. Ooh, sorry.
yeah, I'd say that one thing for sure though, if you had a past relationship and you put in a lot of work into it and ended up going nowhere, don't bring that into your next one, please. I'd say use that as your advantage to go. You know what? I put all this time into this person. It didn't really go anywhere. You know, just understand that you are that type of person that's serving. You can find somebody that on your next one is the same so that you don't have to go, well, I did all this last time, so like now I'm a little enclosed. I say if you when coming into new relationships, try not to bring the past unless you're bringing it up as a lesson learned or a piece where you're bringing it into that person as in a confiding motion towards building something strong, not mentioning as a weakness so that they can say the weakness is and it affects you later, you know. But instead, actually give that person a try because oh, I know I'm into this. You don't know what you're into with me. I could tell you something new. Like bodyboarding, I never did that in my life. Like never. You ever did it down on mud on a hill? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you would never know unless you actually take the time to actually listen and not just worry about yourself because it's not really always I'm looking for someone to make me happy or I'm gonna find my person. It's an art thing. It's a we thing. You're waiting for that person that's gonna elevate you, not they're gonna make you happy. And
Yes.
I feel that there's a lot of relationships where people are me. What are you gonna do for me? What do you I did this before, it did nothing. Like, well, what lessons did you learn from that if it did nothing? Because your nothingness is bringing nothing into this one. You know what I mean? And it's like if you
Exactly. And
want healthy, you gotta push healthy thoughts, you got healthy ideas.
yes.
You gotta make it actually happen. And it takes two people to make that happen. It's
Right.
not an easy thing. It's easy to no and to scream and to yell and to come up with nasty, filthy things, but to come up with actual let's do this, something positive and a structure of moving forward. If you work together with that, then you're gonna excel. If not, then you're gonna have a situation where instead of having two ladders with the both of you guys working together to scaffold, it's like you're now on the ladder with this person and you're kind of holding your hand down and you're like, here, get up to the next one a little higher than me. Except these people are going higher and they're stepping on our faces and going off. They're not helping us get onto the next one. And it's like, why did I let you even get on my ladder in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, and that's where it's
Don't
like,
don't let somebody change who you are and don't change how you love because somebody in your past didn't accept it. And that's I
correct.
think what I'm working on is I thought maybe taking different approaches and less cautious moves, but that's not who I am, right? Like when I love hard, and that's not something that I'll ever change. It's just I've learned that not everybody that enters my life deserves it. Yeah, me too, bad boy. That's why I stopped, because I fall hard and I fall fast. But also, like, not everybody deserves that. Not everybody's earned the type of love I have to give.
Right, and that's the thing, like what you just said is a perfect example because when I'm into somebody, I'm giving them my all. You know what I mean? There's two
You get
types
a
of
thousand
different
percent of
people.
me. Like, you get, other than my kids, you know, and I feel
There's
like I would deserve the same
there's
back.
there's
But
two types
it
of
is
people.
11 o'clock already. Holy cow. So I guess, was there anything else that you'd like to add to this part of the conversation?
I'd say that to to watch out, you got people that try and work for others, and you got other people that work for themselves. And uh just watching out for the words of like I instead of we.
Yeah.
You know?
You can take your me self somewhere else, because I'm about the
Right,
we kind of deals.
right. Need that we feel, because we kind of make it.
All right. Cat Daddy, when do you stream? What are your streams like? And do you have any other events coming up?
Yes, my next event is this Sunday. I have with Jordaddy, we have Jormanji going through, and that'll be on at 8 o'clock. I'll have flyers and on. Hit me up with a favorite if you haven't already. I'll definitely do the same back. If anybody wants to connect with me, ask me any questions about relationships, past relationships, vibing. My streams are about music, dance, love, creativity, um, power, movement, community, things in that matter. You know. Well, you can find me anytime after two in the afternoon, and I go all the way all night
Are
throughout the
you
night.
Eastern time?
Yes, Eastern time for sure.
All right. Well, I thank you so much. Both you guys had amazing topics today. You both got in my head a little bit. Maybe it's time I look for a new job, and maybe I might try to date, but I'm not going to get too excited or worked up yet. But you never know, right? If you don't take a
It's all
chance, you
about
don't know.
manifestation. If you want it, put it in the air, and then it'll come. It's all about like I want this to happen, and then it's going to happen, and that's it. And now it's there, it's stuck, and you just chill and just don't even search for nothing. Just know it's coming, and that's all you
And
gotta
that's
do.
what I say all the time. The harder I look, I feel like I'm not going to find it, but I feel like just sitting back at some point, and I'm going to meet my person in the weirdest, craziest kind of way, right? Like, it's going to be one of those moments where you're like, you don't even know that it's going to happen, but it does. I don't know. I've waited so long for it. I feel like it's at least going to be something cool when I do
I'm
find
with
it.
you on the same time speed, girl. 14 years, 15. I'm on right now. My daughter just turned 14, and I ain't have no new kids. I'm still working on myself. I got a lot to give, but unless I have somebody that's gonna make me feel comfortable with myself and accept me for me, I'm just gonna keep just showing how to do so. You
Right?
know, that's all I can do because at the end of the day, it's not like I can't handle myself. You know what I mean? Like once that's done, it's like clear mind. Anyways, on to the next. You know what I mean? There's too many diseases and disgusting people and things, and a face you can never tell with a face what's going on underneath it. You know what I mean? I could be smiles all day, but inside,
I feel that. I feel that too. That
yeah,
fake smile, that mask.
that's
I wore that for years. But now if I'm mad, y'all know I wear my heart on my sleeve. There's not an emotion I hide anymore. But if I
that's a
feel it, y'all know it. But all right, Cat Daddy, I will let you go. I won't keep you any longer. I appreciate you. And maybe I get both you guys back
keep
on the
it as
show in a
long
couple
as
of
you
months. You
want.
guys did awesome.
Anytime you need me, I'm totally down. If you have any new ideas or
Happy belated
concepts,
birthday.
thank you. Yes, I just turned 35 on Wednesday. You know what I mean? It's just now, just as this is a big 35, big year. It's time the summertime, springtime's coming now, you know.
35,
I
you're
got
still a baby.
What? Thank you, baby.
I'm gonna be 44 this year.
Keep calling me baby. You know what I'm saying? That's great.
Hey, baby. Hey.
Uh,
All right. Happy birthday, Cat Daddy. I'll check both you guys out. I'll definitely be coming to your streams. But I did drink almost 2 huge cups of coffee, so I'm going to take a quick restroom break. We'll be right back.
yeah,
All right.